This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Nobody loves football more than I do. I mean, I eat, live, eat, and breathe football. I remember when QAM, when I first got hired by QAM, I was put on the Marlins and Panthers beat. And I told them right when I got there that I wanted to be the Dolphin and Heat guy right from the get-go. And I think it was as I was coming in, I think Jody Jackson was still there. And then she ends up leaving to Arizona. And so then I take over for Jody. And I take over, although I won because when I started with the QAM, my baseball beat was 97 season of the Marlins. So, it kind of works out, it's pretty cool. I kind of covered the World Series there, so it was a lot of fun. And hockey also, by the way, we covered a Stanley Cup. So it wasn't too bad of a time to cover those, right? But then they switched me over to football and to basketball, and I was in heaven, obviously. And one of the things that right away I saw, well, wait a minute, I'm competing with Armando Salguero, and there's Jason Cole here, and there's Alex Marvez, and I'm like, okay, how the hell can you compete? Because electronic guys don't break any stories, don't do anything ever, you know what I mean? And so then I kind of then started, traveling and going to places, and then I started break stories so I could do some, do the things that actually weren't being done at that station. Only Hank was breaking stories. The only guy that broke stories is Hank. And then I started doing, some of that when I started chasing stories. And so and why did I do that? And why did I go travel to the Las Vegas Football Classic and the Orlando the gridiron in Orlando and the combine and all? Because I love football and I wanted to, get into it as much as possible. And I can't wait personally for this season. And I've told you, when it comes to the Dolphins, man, I haven't seen this in almost a quarter century when they're doing like the right stuff. I mean, I could argue that towards the end of Shula's run, he wasn't doing ever the right things. It wasn't just post Shula. It was towards the end of Shula. And, how the cap took over and all that. And it was a monster he had never dealt with. And that was a problem for him, big time. And so it's been going on for a while. And I've been dying for football to come back. But look at what's gone on with the headlines over the last couple of days. 2 Bucs players test positive. 30 LSU players have been quarantined. Texas confirms 13 players test positive. Clemson, 23 players and staff test positive. Houston, 6 players test positive. Kansas State, 14 players test positive. I know that the Phillies and the baseball ended up shutting down all the spots that were open for training. They shut them all down because of COVID, concerns. There's a part of me that says, how do you play college football? Look at all the guys that are. How are you going to keep 100 penises in check? It's impossible. These guys are going to be partying. They're going to be banging. They're going to be drinking. They're going to be hanging out with their friends. They're going to be smoking. They're going to be doing all kinds of stuff with friends, strangers, whatever. I mean, you're starting to hear about secret parties that are going on in different parts of the country that people that, hey, they have some access to it and friends, and somebody's got a mansion, and then they invite a certain amount of people, and then they all go and meet there. And all those people don't live together. They're all coming from different spots. College players, there is no way. I have a hard time understanding how college football will be played this year. The NFL is right behind it because you have a few guys that are married, and maybe there's a good chance those guys go to the facility, go home, and they kind of do what this idiot and I do every single day. That we see each other, we hang out, he goes home, I'm home, that's it. We're not going out, I'm not going out, we don't go anywhere. We don't do anything except go get food or something in a drive-thru. Or go to Publix with a mask on and go grab something, walk the hell out, and that's it.
My one out was Saturday morning, McDonald's breakfast pickup because the app had buy one, get one McMuffin.
Smart. Good move. It's a good move. I don't know how you control college football. The NFL I don't think is going to happen either, but college? No way, man. No way. All these kids think they're invincible. And look at all the people testing positive. You saw the age, how it keeps going down and down and down and down. It's down to 33 now. It was 37 2 weeks ago. It's now 33, the average age. Why? Because younger people are out in the streets, and they're the ones that spread it more than anybody else. That's the problem there. They can live, but they will kill somebody along the way. That's the problem. You know what I mean? And God forbid, you don't want to kill anybody, but you're going to end up killing somebody you love, and then that burden's on you for the rest of your life. Because I certainly don't want that burden, man. I don't want to do that. But as much as I love football, okay, it's like what we just started the show with on concerts. As much as I love music, I have already programmed myself to think I am not going to a concert till 2021 anyway. You know what I mean? And in a way, it might be easier for me than the average person, because the average person hasn't been to a fraction of the shows I have. So the average person hasn't seen a whole bunch of people. So if Bruno Mars comes to town, they're pissed because they don't get to see Bruno Mars. I already saw him. There aren't a lot of people alive left that I haven't seen. I'm really fortunate in that sense. So I can say, you know what, I'll watch in 2021 or 2022. That's fine, dude. I'm good. I've got no problem. I can hang in there. Football, after waiting all this time, after going through the draft and free agency, and we don't get to see our team take the field, wow. That is, and I got to tell you, I'm one of the guys that was super pumped up about Manny Diaz, and he was terrible last year. But wow, I am so pumped up about the fact that he actually did everything and above to try to correct all his issues, which already okay, well, man, I got to give him credit for that. Now you got to get the results. And what if I don't get to watch him on the field to get the results? You know what I mean? So it's you may want to put him on, bro, because I'm hearing it. And so it's just one of those deals where I got to tell you, I'm afraid that we're not going to see football. Basketball, I think we got a shot. And I know they're going to try, because I was listening to the guys on ESPN. They're going to try. Of course they're going to try. There's billions of dollars involved. So they're going to risk, just like we have opened the country up, because we can't keep it completely closed, because people will, they're going to commit suicide. They're going to go crazy. The people that work their whole lives for their businesses and they lost them during this thing, that's unheard of. That's disgusting that's happened. My heart breaks for people like that. And there are a lot of people like that. There's a lot of people that have built up a career and their entire business and everything went to crap and they lost everything. And now they've got to, whenever they get back, they've got to work their way back again. And maybe it took them years to get to this point. There's a lot of devastation going on. So we had to get back. I get all of that. I wish people would be responsible. That would be the key. But the fact that you haven't been responsible, the fact that we have a lot of idiots out there, okay, protesting without masks, a lot of idiots out there hanging out in pools and in bars and hanging out with a whole bunch of people that they don't know in secret parties and all that, this is why they're all getting COVID. Because it's not that we opened, it's that you just can't be responsible. And then you're going to set us all back, set the economy back again. Sports is going to close down. We're not getting any new movies. We're not getting any new TV shows. We're not getting anything new. No new music, nothing. Nothing can be done at all. Even bands, they're coming up with their music, but they still have to go master it, produce it, edit it, all that, and that will take the people in the record company. Those things are closed. Because you can't put a bunch of people in the studio to try to figure everything out. They don't want you in a place like that. So that's the part that people have not understood. That's why when I look at it, and I saw over the last couple of days, this school test positive, that school test positive, this delays this now a couple of weeks for all these people. And in the process, how many of the 8 Phillies, how many other people did they get sick with those 8? 30 LSU players. That means 30 people were spreading it. They spread it to at least 70 people is probably what ended up happening. And I don't know what those 70 did. Because you spread it to 2.2 people on average when you get it. It's really hard. If you can't play in a bubble, which football in a bubble is, it's impossible because there's no bubble that big. You'd have to like clear out an entire city and build like 5 stadiums inside of it and nobody around. It would be the weirdest thing in the world. But that's the only way you can get away with it with football. And there's no other way around it. Basketball, you can get away with it. Couple courts, you can play 3-4 games a night. Spread it out, you're good. Not a lot of players. I mean, what do they have, like 14 teams in one hotel? It's like, okay. You can't put 14 NFL teams in one hotel. You would need one of those, I don't know, hotels that got like a couple thousand rooms. It's
what it is, man. There's that element, and it's funny. Me and Frank Fiore.
By the way, they probably can't they probably shouldn't be putting 2 players in a room either.
Well, no, you can't.
So that's,
you need to have your own isolated.
But you know that normally it's 2 people
within the bubble. Yeah, well, yeah, right.
So now you need double the rooms.
Well, it isn't like there's anybody else there at the hotel.
No, but I'm just saying. No, that's not true, isn't it? Now, aren't they opening now? Aren't they? Isn't Disney and all them opening?
I hope not.
No, they are, dude.
They are. Okay.
They are.
Well, here we go.
Not at 100, but they're like at whatever
25,
capacity
30,
or 50 or something. I don't know what it is, but yeah, they're able to. The parks are starting to open.
Before you got there Friday, me and Frank Fiore were talking about, and you know what the problem is? There's that group that left to their own devices are not going to be responsible.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah. That's why it's imperative that all these businesses treat it like, okay, dude, you don't have a mask, you're not coming in. It's over. Okay? You can't come in. And then that's at least one step. But it doesn't
Did you see that story that supposedly the mayor was at one of these restaurants that got closed? Like,
they just
there
reopened.
You go.
It just reopened yesterday with that one of those 3.
Did you see the fine?
Yeah.
$500 fine.
Which is a joke. Right.
And 180 days possibly in jail. I'm like,
I think
what?
I think the problem is that everybody's been hurt so badly that they don't want to kill them on top of all of that, because if you tell them, boy, now you got to shut down for 30 days because of this, they're probably going to close down. So I get that fine line they're walking, but damn, dude, you got to at least
make them feel it.
Yeah, man.
Right? To set them straight, obviously, because they're not going to be responsible.
Yeah, because they only care about the money. Big O, shouldn't be long before these medicines that show great promise in curing COVID-19 to be available, and that be a game changer. William, I hope so, my man. I got 5 stents in my heart, and as long as this thing's around, I am going to be as careful as possible and stay away from people and just keep doing what I'm doing. That so far it's worked out. Look, man, it's tough enough to stay away from this thing just by living the life I live every day. I can't imagine the people that are putting themselves in the middle of a whole bunch of other people protesting, whatever it is. It's like, how are you protesting without a mask? You know what I mean? All of the Trumpies that went into that building, the 6,600 or 6,200 that went in that 19,000 seat arena, and you're screaming and all that, and it's like, you know what? Maybe it was a blessing that people got smart and didn't show up for Trump, because now you had less people expose each other for the virus. You know what I mean? If you had 19,000 there and, they thought they were going to do something outside on the street in that stage and nobody was there, obviously a fraction of the people showing up, it ends up becoming a real blessing. You know what I mean? Because I got to say, you got to be a moron to go into an arena and start screaming with no mask and get in there with a bunch of people. Just like, by the way, as much as I'm with the protesters, you got to be a moron to go protesting without a mask. Just like you want to go with 500 other idiots in the Ozarks and hang out in a pool that's disgusting without a mask, you get what you deserve.